Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The buzz around the fictional Gridiron Elite League took a wild turn after the charismatic quarterback Jackson Dart became the center of a storm that nobody saw coming. Throughout the last few days, whispers have been circulating through locker rooms, studios, and fan forums about a fiery outburst that supposedly happened behind closed doors. Some insiders claim that Dart, known for his competitive edge and vocal leadership style, unloaded a long string of frustrations toward the fictional Chicago Bears franchise, igniting what many are calling one of the biggest controversies of the season. The whole situation snowballed rapidly thanks to leaks, grainy cell phone recordings, and half-quoted statements that fans are replaying on loop like detectives trying to solve a mystery. Even though nothing has been officially confirmed, the rumor has already spread like wildfire across every corner of the league. Commentators are breaking down every syllable, fans are choosing sides, and analysts are scratching their heads wondering how a spark of frustration became a blaze of debate. And honestly, that is exactly the kind of plot twist that sends the football world into absolute chaos whenever personalities as electric as Dart get involved, creating a narrative that keeps expanding even without a single official statement to anchor it. What makes this story even more fascinating is how quickly it morphed from a private rumor to one of the most talked about topics across sports channels. As soon as the alleged comments leaked, content creators jumped on the situation with the energy of a breaking news frenzy. Clips began circulating showing supposed snippets of Dart venting about the Bears' strategy, locker room culture, and the front office's decision-making process, although none of those clips have been verified by anyone with direct access to the team or the quarterback. Still, that did not stop the internet from doing what it does best, transforming a whisper into a shouting match. Fans began posting long threads analyzing every possible motive behind Dart's frustration, ranging from internal miscommunication to contrasting visions for the team's long-term identity. Even if these theories had no concrete evidence behind them, they were repeated so often that they started to sound almost official. It is that strange cycle where speculation fuels more speculation, turning the rumor mill into an unstoppable tornado. And now, the situation has grown to the point where everyone wants to know whether Dart will address the swirling gossip or continue letting the mystery feed the drama that keeps intensifying with every passing hour. Adding fuel to the fire, several anonymous insiders have hinted that the tension might have been building for quite some time. According to these shadowy voices, small disagreements accumulated slowly inside the Bears facility, creating a quiet friction that stayed under the radar until this alleged outburst blew the lid off everything. Some say it started with offensive schemes that Dart felt did not maximize his strengths, while others point toward philosophical clashes with certain members of the coaching staff. None of this is verified, but in the world of sports chatter, every unconfirmed detail becomes a thread that fans pull until it unravels into a narrative of its own. The supposed comments were described as sharp, emotional, and brutally honest, painting a picture of a player tired of holding back in a franchise that he believes is not meeting its own potential. Again, this is all unverified rumor, but that has not stopped people from debating whether this is the beginning of a major shift inside the organization or simply a moment of frustration exaggerated by the echo chamber of digital commentary. Regardless of the truth, the speculation alone has been enough to reshape the public perception of the relationship between Dart and the fictional Bears. What is truly captivating is how the fanbase reacted to this swirl of controversy. On one side, there are fans who believe Dart is being unfairly targeted by people who want drama more than accuracy, insisting that every quote was pulled out of context or fabricated altogether. On the other side, there are those who claim the quarterback simply voiced what many players have been thinking but never dared to say aloud. This division created a kind of civil war within the online community, as supporters debated endlessly about whether emotional leadership should be admired or criticized. Content creators appeared in droves, filming passionate breakdowns dissecting every angle of the situation, from the psychology behind player outbursts to the structural challenges within the team. Each new video fueled another wave of reactions, turning the rumor into a sprawling web of interpretations. To make things even more intense, retired players chimed in with their opinions, adding even more layers of perceived authenticity to the debate. The fictional Bears organization has stayed silent throughout it all, refusing to confirm or deny anything, which only makes the public more eager for answers that could either calm the storm or make it explode into an even bigger spectacle. Meanwhile, speculation about the team's internal atmosphere has grown out of control. Fans have crafted elaborate narratives about closed-door meetings, intense arguments, and stern warnings from front office executives, even though none of these scenarios have been backed by any tangible evidence. But that is how sports culture thrives. Imagination fills the gaps left by silence. Some online personalities are claiming that tension spiked after a series of disappointing practices where communication reportedly broke down on crucial plays. Others insist the situation revolves around leadership dynamics and conflicting visions for how the offense should evolve. What is fascinating is that each version of the story feels plausible enough to gain traction, allowing fans to pick the theory that best fits their emotional expectations. These narratives then get recycled through comment sections, reaction videos, and vocal debates, making it nearly impossible to determine where the rumor ends and where pure invention begins. Still, the lack of clarity has only made people even more invested, transforming a simple whisper into a narrative saga that feels bigger than any real conflict might actually be. The growing intrigue has placed enormous pressure on Dart, even though he has not addressed the situation publicly. Some believe he is intentionally staying quiet to let the buzz die down naturally, while others are convinced he is preparing a carefully crafted response that will either clear the air or reignite the fire. No one knows for sure, and that uncertainty has fueled countless discussions about how modern athletes navigate controversies in an era where every expression, gesture, or overheard sentence can spark a viral storm. Journalists speculate about his mindset, analysts speculate about his intentions, and fans speculate about everything in between. With each passing moment, the absence of an official statement becomes its own storyline, as though the quarterback's silence holds some deeper meaning. Whether he says something soon or waits until the season settles, this fictional rumor has already evolved into a defining chapter of the league's off-field drama. And the most fascinating part is that the entire saga might be built on nothing more than misinterpretations, exaggerations, or spontaneous group imagination. Yet it still manages to grip the football world and set the stage for even more tension as the weeks go on. As the fictional league continues buzzing, new angles on the rumor began forming, almost as if the storyline developed a life of its own. Some observers claim a key moment happened during a private film session where Dart supposedly expressed strong opinions about how the Bears were approaching their offensive blueprint. Again, no one outside that room has confirmed anything, but the story grew anyway, morphing into an entire saga retold by fans in dramatic fashion. Online forums lit up with reenactments, exaggerated interpretations, and speculative dialogues, some so detailed you would think they were eyewitness accounts. People started sharing supposed insider quotes that sound suspiciously like fan fiction, yet they were repeated so frequently that parts of the community took them as near truths. It is fascinating how easily an unverified rumor transforms into a collective narrative constructed by thousands of imaginations working together. What makes the situation even more electric is that the fictional Bears management has stayed completely silent, refusing to offer even the most basic clarification. That mystery has become the fuel that keeps the story alive, pushing content creators to investigate every possible angle, as if they were decoding a grand conspiracy buried beneath layers of incomplete information. Meanwhile, debate about the leadership structure within the fictional Bears intensified dramatically. Analysts on various sports channels began crafting theories about how the organization handles star personalities and whether there might be systemic issues behind scenes. Most of these theories are built on speculation rather than concrete facts, but that has not stopped them from spreading widely. One analyst suggested that Dart has always been a fiery competitor whose passion occasionally spills into harsh words, while another claimed the franchise has a long-standing pattern of mismanaging communication with key players. Both angles became talking points everywhere, even though neither has been verified. This created a fascinating dynamic where the discourse was shaped not by evidence, but by the emotional appeal of each theory. Fans chose sides based on which version felt more authentic to them. The rumor was no longer just about what Dart might have said. It became a referendum on leadership, identity, player empowerment, and franchise culture. The fictional Bears ended up at the center of a massive sports talk whirlwind, even though nothing official had emerged from within their walls to confirm any part of the story. As the controversy continued to expand, former players began weighing in, offering their interpretations of the situation based solely on experience rather than verified information. Some argued that moments like these are common behind closed doors, with players expressing frustration passionately as part of the natural grind of competitive environments. Others insisted that if the alleged comments were even partially true, it could signal deeper dissatisfaction that might eventually impact the team's long-term stability. These retired voices added even more complexity to the narrative, lending an air of authority that made casual fans treat the speculation as informed insight. Every retired quarterback or receiver who appeared on a podcast was suddenly treated like an oracle delivering hidden truth. Despite the fact that none of them have direct knowledge of this fictional situation, their commentary helped shape the overarching narrative into a multi-layered drama about honesty, communication, and the fragile chemistry that keeps a team functioning. It is a reminder of how quickly a rumor can evolve when respected voices add their interpretations, even unintentionally reinforcing ideas that may have no factual basis at all. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. At this point, even neutral fans have become absorbed in the storyline, discussing the possible implications for the fictional Bears' future. Some believe the team might try to smooth things over privately, treating the situation as a minor bump in an otherwise promising path. Others fear the rumor reflects a deeper rupture that could eventually spark larger changes within the franchise. People have even begun theorizing about how the team might adjust its internal culture, whether coaching strategies will evolve, or if key figures might sit down to rewrite their communication methods. All of this is pure speculation, yet the discussions feel as intense and detailed as if insiders had leaked real documents. That is the power of narrative momentum within sports culture. Once a storyline begins rolling downhill, it gathers details that no one can confirm, yet everyone feels compelled to analyze. The fictional Bears find themselves at the center of an avalanche of attention that becomes larger and harder to control with each passing day. And as long as no official clarification comes from the organization or from Dart himself, fans will continue filling the silence with theories, possibilities, and emotional interpretations that keep the drama alive. What adds another layer to this growing saga is how the fictional quarterback's personality is being reinterpreted through the lens of the rumor. Before all this, Dart was widely viewed as intense, but charismatic, fiercely competitive, but generally composed. Now, fans are revisiting old interviews, analyzing facial expressions, and interpreting comment from past seasons as if they contained hidden clues foreshadowing this moment. Videos that once seemed harmless are now being dissected frame by viewers searching for micro-expressions or subtle tones that might indicate long-standing frustrations. This retroactive analysis creates an entirely new narrative, as if fans are rewriting history to fit the present storyline. It is a fascinating psychological phenomenon. Once people adopt a belief, they start reorganizing past information to reinforce it. The fictional quarterback finds himself judged not on what he has said recently, but on how fans reinterpret things he said long before this rumor even existed. This adds emotional weight to the unfolding drama, making the narrative feel bigger, deeper, and more interconnected than it truly is. And with every reinterpretation, the legend of the supposed outburst grows into something larger than any verified event. Through all of this chaos, one question remains unanswered and continues to drive the conversation forward. How will Dart respond when he finally breaks his silence? Some fans predict a bold statement clearing up every misunderstanding, while others think he may deliver a measured, diplomatic response designed to calm tensions without revealing too much. There are also those who believe he might lean into the controversy, using it as a catalyst to spark changes within the fictional Bears organization. Each possibility fuels hours of speculation, turning every fan into an amateur strategist attempting to predict the future. But until Dart speaks, the narrative remains suspended in uncertainty, held up by rumor, debate, emotion, and imagination. This uncertainty keeps the story alive, ensuring that every discussion, every video, and every new piece of speculation adds another layer to an already sprawling saga. And that is the beauty and chaos of sports storytelling. Sometimes the drama off the field becomes just as captivating as anything that happens on it, especially when a charismatic player, a silent franchise, and a restless fan base collide in a perfect storm of rumor-driven intrigue. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.